For the last 3 years, the mincing, shrieking abomination, the walking insult to anything feminine, Dylan Mulvaney, has been plaguing social media with his unique take on being a girl. Despite being in his late 20s, he doesn't identify as a woman, he identifies as a girl even though he's a man. This video is my rather macabre prediction on how the Dylan Mulvaney story will end. You see, Dylan is now the host of a video podcast. A video podcast, isn't that just a video? Except you get it on Spotify, which pales as to nothing when compared to YouTube. A video podcast called The Dylan Hour. And I've got the titles coming up. YouTube AI bots. I'll be in shot reacting to the video. I am reacting. There's no need to hit me with fucking copyright. And I promise you, it's one of the cringiest things you'll see ever.
In the shower, on a walk, the Dylan Hour, feeling sweet, feeling sour.
I feel nothing.
The Dylan Hour, my couch is open, it's better than therapy. All you soccer moms, all you theys and thems, all you bottom boys, my bisexual femmes, come one and all, disassociate with me. It's free. Grab a drink, or two or three. You have no friends, all good, you got me. It's the Dylan Hour. Love ya.
All the theys and thems disassociate with me. I look back wistfully to the halcyon days when mental health problems were treated rather than celebrated. And look at that expression. That is not the expression of a sane human being. That is the look of a sociopath, albeit a cock-hungry sociopath. But Dylan's behaviour has never been normal. As a younger man, he was paraded on YouTube by his mother, trying to promote her own ambitions by dressing him up as a possum. He then became a Broadway actor, appearing in the Book of Mormon, and here he is on an American game show. Just look at the behaviour.
You get to spin the wheel.
Yeah, you get to spin the wheel, but guess what? You get a second chance in this game first.
No way. Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm still in it.
So you know two prices already, which is a great thing. $3.99 and $5.99. Which one do you want to keep?
I'm gonna keep the $5.99.
Keep $5.99. Something else up here is $5.99. You can tell me what it is. You get everything.
I'm gonna say the soup.
Soup, $5.99. It's pretty fancy. It is. Yes, you got it. Dylan's a winner. Dylan's a winner.
So, I'm a straight man, albeit a straight man who always gets hit on by gay guys when I go out. And if that's you, gentlemen, you can do better. But even if I were gay, if I was the reincarnation of Liberace, even then, I think if I met Dylan, I'd be saying, Dylan, fucking rein it in a bit. You're more camp than Butlins. You make Graham Norton look like a cage fighter. But then, of course, Dylan decided he wasn't a gay man, he was actually a girl. I believe the US TV programme The View is the American equivalent of Loose Women here in the UK, inasmuch as the presenters are all bitter women, middle to old aged, all with a fucking axe to grind, usually against the devil incarnate, straight white men. Dylan recently appeared on this programme, and it's a fucking car crash.
Last week, California Governor Gavin Newsom said that he thinks that trans athletes competing in girls' and women's sports was deeply unfair. Now, I want to hear what you think, because I'll tell you what I think, too.
Yeah. The last time I played a sport, I was 6 years old, and I was on a soccer team, but I assigned myself as the nurse. So I sat with the Band-Aids. And so, in the words of Wicked, I am not that girl. But a dear friend of mine, Skylar, he is a trans athlete. His handle's Pink Manta Ray. That's someone who I really look to for guidance. And I think that is what's tricky, is like, now stepping in this identity. I'm still like a baby trans. You know, I've only 3 years in. Tomorrow's my anniversary.
Your friend went Your friend went from female.
Dear Whoopi Goldberg, you ancient, bitter, irrelevant old fucktard, pretending not to know that if a man competes in female sports, he will have a massive advantage and often be a danger to all the women competing. Dylan doesn't play sports, there's a shock. I had him down as a quarterback. But he used the exception rather than the rule. A woman who identifies as a man competing in male sport. But I guarantee, no matter what that sport is, all the men are going easy on her because none of them want to be labelled as the man who beat the shit out of a woman. But the language Dylan uses is interesting, labelling himself as baby trans. Baby implies innocence, a lack of experience, someone who doesn't understand the world, therefore they cannot be blamed. In the same way that Dylan identifies as a girl, it's days of girlhood, not days of womanhood. Because that sounds better than just being a cross-dressing pervert.
I am Eloise. I am 6. I'm a city child. I live at the Plaza Hotel, which is huge and wonderful and très elegant, especially at Christmas time.
That's an older clip, but to me it sums up Dylan Mulvaney and his ilk. A walking insult to womanhood. A man who thinks that femininity is a costume, it's a caricature, something he can put on and take off. This is the man who used to carry a tampon around with him in case he met a woman who needed one. Now, if I did that, I would rightly just be a creepy bastard. Because not only that, every woman who's still having her period, they know their menstrual cycle to a level I simply cannot understand. No woman leaves the house without a tummy rocket if she thinks she's going to need it. So this is my prediction, and like I said, it is rather macabre. I don't think that Dylan believes he's a girl. If nothing else, he's knocking on fucking 30. He's a man, he knows he's a man, albeit a man who likes a cock up his arse, and that's fair enough. But I think Dylan is actually an addict. And he's addicted to fame. He's been on TV, he's been on stage, he's been on YouTube, and he was massive on TikTok. But that star is rapidly fading. And I think the podcast is just another attempt to try and reinvent himself. But I think when the fame goes, sadly, and I say this very sadly, I think Dylan will check himself out early. That went dark very quickly, and I hope I'm wrong because despite everything, I don't think Dylan is a bad person. I just think he's fucking loopy and he gets off on the attention. Anyway, that's the end of this video. That was depressing. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you can leave a like or a comment, that really helps the algorithm. If you'd like to support me making these videos, there's a link in the description to buy me a coffee. And as ever, thanks for watching. It's been 3 years now since the walking, screeching abomination, the insult to all things feminine, Dylan Bucket. I really need to go to the barber's because I'm starting to look fucking homeless. All you theys and thems, come and disassociate. Fuck it. All the theys and thems disassociate with me. Is he openly admitting to having DID, dissociative identity disorder? Because if he's got more than one personality, Dylan, seriously, use another one. I believe that The View is the American equivalent of Loose Women, in as much as it's presented by hatchet-faced, bitter, middle-aged women, all of whom have an axe to grind, usually against the devil incarnate, straight white men, and... oh, bollocks to it.